If your mortgage is renewing this year and your plan is just to sign the bank's offer, you could be locking in tens of thousands of dollars in unnecessary interest for the next 3 to 5 years. And the worst part is, most people don't ever realize they're doing it because they think the goal at renewal is to get a better rate, but that's not the real game. And in this video, I'm going to show you the biggest mortgage renewal mistake, why it quietly costs way more than you think, and what to do instead if you actually want to get ahead. Let's go. So I was talking the other day to a client and they had good income, they were smart people, they were doing everything that they thought was right, and their mortgage, it was coming up for renewal in the next 4 months. They told me, Scott, I think I'm just going to take the bank's offer. It seems pretty competitive. And that right there is how people stay stuck in the market, because the biggest mortgage renewal mistake, it's not picking the wrong rate. Lots of brokers out there are going to say it's all about rate. In my opinion, it's treating the renewal like a rate decision instead of a strategy decision. And that one shift changes the game, changes everything. Now here's why this matters. Your renewal on this mortgage is one of the only moments where you actually get a little bit of control. You're not actively buying, so you're not up against other competitors, you're not up against timelines. You have time. You can restructure. You can change your amortization, meaning the months remaining on your mortgage, like for the life. So most amortizations are between 20 and 30 years. You can reposition any of the debt you currently hold, and you can completely change how your money is working. But what I see people do is none of that. They get a letter from their institution or bank, they glance at the rate, they talk about it at the water cooler at work, and then they fucking sign it, and then they move on. And what they don't realize is they just locked in that same strategy that wasn't working before for another 5 years. Let's put real numbers to this. Let's say a $650,000 mortgage is coming up for renewal. The bank's going to reach out the last couple weeks and offer you a 5.2%. Another lender offers you 5%. So you switch to save 0.2%. It feels smart. You feel like you won. You beat the man. But here's what that actually does. Roughly $1,300 a year in savings. About $110 per month. That's what most people optimize for. That's not even a dinner at Earl's. Now compare that to this. If instead you restructured the whole mortgage, you improved your cash flow by $500 a month, you're now ahead $6,000 a year, not $1,300. That's not a small difference. That's a completely different outcome. Let me say that a bit differently so it might land a bit differently. You're spending hours trying to save $100 a month while ignoring the decision that could improve your position by $500 a month. That's the trap that everyone is getting sucked into. And here's the uncomfortable truth that you might not want to hear. Your bank is not designed to give you a strategy. They're designed to keep your mortgage, to keep you in debt. That's it. When you're in debt, they profit. So when that renewal letter shows up, it's not fucking advice. It's an offer. And if you treat it like advice, you're going to lose. I can promise you that. Here's where people try to fix it on their own, but they miss the point and they still get it wrong. They say, I'm going to shop around. And sure, you should. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. But if the only thing that you're comparing is rate and visa points, you're still playing the wrong game. It's like you're trying to play ice hockey with rollerblades on. It will not work, because the real question isn't what's the best rate you're offering. The real question needs to be, what does this mortgage actually do for me and my family? And this is where things start to shift a bit. There are 3 moves you need to think about at renewal time. The first one is this. You need to decide what your mortgage is actually supposed to do. Is it meant to eliminate debt as fast as possible? Or is it meant to improve your cash flow? Or could it be meant to help you start building your investments? Because those are 3 completely different strategies. But most people, they never ask that question. They just default to, I want to pay it off faster because it sounds right and it's what my parents told me, not because it's right. The second move is structuring your mortgage around your life, not just your rate. Because your rate, it doesn't determine your lifestyle, your cash flow does, your flexibility does, your margin does. And sometimes that means making a move that feels backwards on paper, like extending your amortization from 20 to 25 years or 25 to 30, or restructuring your payments. But you can actually do this so you can create some breath, so you actually be able to breathe, so you can move, so you can actually build something outside of just being mortgage poor. Because if your mortgage is consuming every single part of you, you're not getting ahead. You might be getting ahead tiny financially, but that mental drain on you, it's not worth it. You're just surviving. If your mortgage is renewing in the next 6 to 12 months and you haven't actually looked at your options yet, you might be too late on this one as rates are soaring, but comment renewal below, because what I see over and over again is people sleepwalking into this decision and then wondering why nothing fucking changed for the next 5 years. And if you want help actually mapping this out and seeing what this looks like for your situation, there's a link below where you can book a strategy call. Now, the third move, and this is where people really separate themselves, is using your renewal as a reset point, not just a rollover. Because if you let that just roll over, it keeps you where you currently are, and chances are you're not happy where you are. A reset, it changes your direction. And this is where better questions, it starts to show up. Can we improve our cash flow? Can we reposition your debt? Can we create room to invest? Can we build flexibility into your life? Because if those 4 questions don't ever get addressed, your mortgage is probably eating all of your income. You don't have a plan, you have a pressure cooker. Now let me show you what this looks like in real life. A couple I worked with recently, they had a household income just north of 160K. No crazy spending, no major issues, but they just felt tight every single month. Their mortgage, it was renewing, and their plan was simple. Get the lowest rate, lock that bitch in, and move on. Instead, I restructured everything. I extended their amortization by 3 years, and I freed up just over $600 a month, and then gave that money a purpose. Instead of feeling stuck, they have options, and we've created breathing room with a plan. It's the same income, the same house, a far different outcome. And this is what strategy does. I've been talking about it for months, maybe years, and here's the shift that you need to make. People who stay stuck, they just renew their mortgage. People that are getting ahead in life, they redesign it. That's the difference, because one is passive, the other is intentional. And the moment that you make that shift, you stop asking, what rate did I get? And you start asking, what did this actually do for me? So if your mortgage is coming up for renewal, don't just sign that paper. Don't just chase a low, shiny rate, and don't assume, never assume that your bank is giving you your best option, because they're not. They're not building your strategy, you are. And the decision you make at renewal will shape the next 5 years of your life minimum. The bank is hoping you don't think about this, because the moment that you do, you stop being easy to keep, stop being easy to make a profit of. Because at the end of the day, you don't have a mortgage problem. Chances are you have a strategy problem. If you want help building that strategy, there's a link below to book a call. And when you're done with this video, check out last week's where I break down the differences and similarities between the '08 market and now. See you there.